Hi, I'm Ken Jr. and welcome to Train World TV. Here you'll find the latest and greatest in model trains. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. And if you're new to our channel, we're glad you're here, and I invite you to click the subscribe button and hit that bell notification so you'll never miss a video. Now, we'd also love to send you exclusive deals and special announcements that you won't find anywhere else. So be sure to sign up for our emails, TW Text, and stay connected with us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Don't forget, you can shop online at trainworld.com for all your model train needs. Now, without further ado, enjoy today's video.
All right, and good evening, everyone. And I feel like it's been a long journey since I've seen Tony Cook or Curtis from Broadway. So it feels like we're getting back into train season.
I've had a lot of people saying that, Ken. Good to be here. Yes, even though I say train season has no season. You know, it's like being in Kansas City Chiefs football. We talk about it 365 days a year. And trains are the same thing for me. It never goes away. But yes, it is train season. So welcome back.
Well, Tony, for me, it's train season every season because when my Chicago Bears are playing as bad as they are, I need something to distract me from the Sundays when my Sundays are wasted. So I'm very excited for train season, even though like you said, there is no season for it.
Yeah, I won't mention the Chiefs have not been like all that red hot, but you know, it's early in the season. We'll see how it goes.
It is, yes.
Well, there is no train season like train season, and tonight we have a very special episode, and it seems like we're having some issues getting on to I guess Facebook, but hopefully everybody could join on the YouTube. So I do apologize about that. That's the second time that happened, and I'm not sure what the issue is, so we'll keep on trying to figure that out. But tons of stuff to review today. We got HO scale and N scale, lots of new items, new announcements, what's coming in, what's going out, just tons of stuff, right? And Broadway keeps on making hit after hit, tons of products, tons of great announcements, new products, new tooling. So lots to cover and discuss. And Curtis, if it's okay with you, do you want to start off, I guess, with the smallest size first? Maybe sure. We'll kick it off with N scale.
Yeah, N scale. We've got a lot of N scale announcements and projects to go over. Stuff that's coming in stock right now. We've got the N scale SD40-2s with several different paint schemes. We've got the Santa Fe blue and yellow with the BNSF patch. We got the Burlington Northern with the BNSF patch, amongst many other paint schemes. Those should be en route to you guys at Train World here in the next week or so. So those will be able to be into customers' hands very, very soon. Also, we have an order deadline coming up for a big, and I say big meaning because it's N scale steamer. It's the Union Pacific Lake Challenger. Those have an order deadline of a week from today, September 25th, for those UP Late Challengers. We've got road-specific details on those. We've got sounds recorded from the 3985 that are going to be implemented on the model. We've got die-cast tooling, so it's going to have that extra tractive effort that's going to be able to pull, you know, I know a lot of N-scalers like to put sometimes 100 freight cars behind their locomotives and kind of run it prototypically. Well, you can have a prototypically accurate Challenger leading your reefer drag or whatever you choose to put on, or maybe you do modern day and you want the excursions cars. But either way, those Challengers are going to be a great hit. We've posted some videos on our social platforms that have the video of it running and the smoke on those two for the Paragon 4. It's so cool how Bob was able to get smoke into N scale, and customers who are N scalers who are loving the smoke. And we're really, really excited to bring those. And there's more N scale stuff coming. We've got the Baldwin Shark Nose locomotives coming up, and those will be arriving later next year. And then we've got 2 more N scale announcements that we'll have in October. A rerun of a popular diesel, and we'll have a steam locomotive announcement coming too. So a lot of stuff in the pipeline for N scalers, and I know they're going to be happy to hear that.
Awesome. That Challenger's new tooling, isn't it, Curtis? I know you guys have a beautiful big boy, and that die cast makes such a difference in scale. And
incredible difference.
New.
Yeah, and the Challenger is all new. The N scale Challengers in particular, we put the die cast. Will have a die cast tender body and a die cast boiler. And the chassis will also be die cast. But we've got several different versions. We've got obviously the 3985, which is the big star, as well as the Greyhound Challenger 3977. But we've also got regular coal burning Union Pacific Challengers. We've got the ones with the wind wings or smoke deflectors on the side too. And then we've also got Rio Grande and Clinchfield included in this run. And I know some people like to get creative, so we do have some UP Challengers that are painted black but are unlettered. So if you'd like to get creative and add your own railroad's name onto the side of it, you can absolutely do that, and you'll have that customization to it, if you will.
Very cool. And these are DCC and Paragon 4 too. We mentioned the smoke, which is a mind blower for N scale, but they're also DCC sound equipped as well.
Yes, correct. And there's stealth models. So if you prefer an aftermarket decoder or you run DC, you'll be able to do that. The stealth models have a speaker installed, so you'll be able to just plug in your preferred aftermarket decoder, make sure it's a Next 18 type decoder, and you'll be good to go. But the details on the Challengers are really, really nice because they've got the accurate front end modeling from the appropriate aftercooler system for each class of the Challengers. We've got the 25C100 and 25C400 tenders that are tailored to match each class. We've got the specific oil tender for the 3985 representing its excursion service. And then we've got, like I said, the Clinchfield and Rio Grande versions. So we've got a lot of great details on these Challengers. And like I said, you'll have the pulling power, you'll have the sounds, you'll have everything, all the bells and whistles, no pun intended, because it's a steam locomotive included on these models.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, and Curtis, Ken Silvestri, I don't know how you keep on dragging him out of retirement, but we got a excellent video of these N-scale Challengers. Is it okay if we share that? Or...
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Let's share the sound as well. So hang tight. Okay. Know if you could see this.
Yep.
This just in. We've just received samples of the Paragon 4 UP Late Challenger in N scale. And Curtis is chomping at the bit to show it to you. First, let me add.
Look at that smoke.
Oh, look at that smoke. Wow.
An N scale steam is amazing. Seeing the illusion of smoke billowing from the steam's smokestack beats just seeing an empty stack. Now here's Curtis.
Thank you, Ken. Yes, we've got an exciting update on our upcoming N-scale Union Pacific Late Challenger. As you're seeing videos of it going around across the screen here, the tooling for these is now complete, and these massive machines are ready to head to your N-scale layout, and they're just about to head into production. But before they go into production, we want to make sure that you guys get your orders in with this new order deadline that we have coming up. The order deadline is Thursday, September 25th, 2025. So make sure you get your orders in. We've got a couple of key features on this first production run, which include accurate front-end detailing, including class-specific aftercoolers, proper tenders for each class, the 25C100, the 25C400, and the oil tender for the UP 3985. We've got multiple different paint schemes, including Union Pacific, Rio Grande, Clinchfield, and 2 unlettered black versions, so you can add your own railroad's name to the side of them. And also, we've got these equipped with Paragon 4 sound, DC, DCC, with accurate sounds from the UP Late Challenger with some recordings from UP 3985. Not to mention you got the smoke and the Go Pack capacitors inside the locomotive. And if you prefer to have your preferred aftermarket decoders, maybe Tsunami, ESU, or TCS, we do have Stealth Series models. These models are no sound with DCC ready and plug and play capability, meaning that you just have to get your aftermarket Next 18 decoder, plug it in, and you're good to go. So make sure you place your order with your dealer by the September 25th order deadline to secure your model. Orders submitted after the September 25th deadline will only be filled if extra inventory is available, and these will not last long. We can assure you of that. So make sure, again, you get your pre-order in for these Challengers. They're going to be sweet. They're going to pull a lot of freight or passenger trains on your layout.
Wow.
All right.
Wow. That's like, I can't believe that smoke. I mean, Ken, what do you think of that? I mean, for N scale, that's unbelievable. It really looks great.
It really is amazing, and Broadway is really the only company for N scale that does it at the moment for American company, and it's just an unbelievable feature, and everybody's going crazy. And the big boy, it was like wild when it first came out. That was the first engine they did with smoke and N scale, and everybody just gravitated for Broadway big boys. We know there's other options out there, but you know, the detailing on Broadway steam engines are just unbelievable. And to part with the features, it's just a great option. So I do see a lot of people upgrading their steam engines to Broadway now. So even if you have a Challenger or a big boy, they want the newest, latest details and features, and that's important. And I think Broadway is going to do very well with this. Just because steam is just beautiful. I mean, big boy is the big boy, but next in line is Challenger, and it's both of them look very impressive.
Yeah, and the one thing about the Challengers too is that, at least with the 3985, is that it's being restored right now. So hopefully in the next 5 or 6 years that'll be running again, and you can get ahead of the curve a little bit by getting one and having an excursion consist on your layout, because like we were saying in the video, these aren't going to last long. And we were talking off camera before, Ken, and actually when I came to visit you in February, about the importance of placing a pre-order down, because a lot of these extra inventories, I know people like to wait until the models come in and take a look at them, and that's totally fine. But if you want a model in particular, whether it be a 3985 or what have you, it's really encouraged to get your pre-order in, because when they're gone, they're gone. And we have several other projects in both HO and N scale that are 100% sold out. And by the time they get to us and they get to dealers, there's not very much left, if any. And of course, there's a couple of cancellations here and there, but those get snatched up pretty quickly too. So if you want a Challenger, if you want any of the models that you're seeing tonight, it's best to place your pre-order down.
Yeah, we were just talking about this before the show, and there's all the manufacturers across the board in any industry, not even just trains. Everybody's building a little less and based off of what they think they could sell, and the quantities are limited. The days of extra stock, it's going to be hard. At Train World, we do our best to stock extra and have a little for if you miss the pre-order window. But please, if you're interested in something, make sure you reserve it, because a lot of times things have been selling out quickly, or the price changes and it rises. We're not going to talk on tariffs on a large scale, but both Broadway and Train World have been doing our best to eat as much of the tariff as we can. And if customers did pre-order, we really haven't been passing it on to the consumer if you had that pre-order. So we've really been doing our best, and we can't guarantee anything because everything's been changing crazy. So don't hold us to anything. But we, both Broadway and Train World, and a lot of dealers and manufacturers out there are trying to do the right thing. So I know there's a lot of people unsure with the status and everything, but even though we have gotten hit with many tariffs, we've actually been passing on the savings to people who have pre-ordered the items. But again, we can't promise everything on things that we can't control, but we're doing our best, and that's what we can promise. and continue to do our best to see what we could do for the consumer out there. But lots of great N scale stuff, even just not even just the challengers, but we were talking about what we're going to talk about, and obviously the N scale challenger is like the star hit of the show. But there's just so many projects, Curtis. It's wild.
It is. It's a lot of projects, but it's a lot of fun and new projects in some cases, like the N-scale shark nose locomotives that we're doing too. Those are all new tooling with, again, road-specific details on it, and bringing them to N-scale. We're really excited for those. We actually are expecting a couple of 3D printed samples to arrive hopefully in the next month or two. So those will have, of course, be on our social media. So if you have a shark nose on order, it's definitely encouraged to keep up with our social media and of course Train World social media, because we'll be for sure sharing those with everybody when those come out and when we get those samples in to take a look at. And of course we're going to be at shows in the future. We're already slated to go to Amherst, but we're also going to Timonium show up in Maryland in October, and then we'll also be at a Train Fest in Milwaukee early November. So if you're in those areas and you want to see some samples and talk to Ken and I at the shows, besides doing the videos, Ken likes to go to shows too. And that is not me pulling him out of retirement for that. He just likes to travel. So of course he'll be there too to shake your hand and answer any questions you've got. So yeah, we're really excited about the future for N-scale, and we've got more N-scale stuff coming in the pipeline, like I said earlier.
Wow. And the sharks are all new too. We said the Challenger's new, but and that shark that you all do in HO scale is like the best one out there. So I'm eager to see what you guys are going to come up with for the N scale model.
Yeah, the sharks are really, really encouraging, and the E units too. I forgot to even mention that they'll be arriving in the next month or so. The all new tooling for E7s, A's and B's, and E8s and E9s, A's and B's, and the E units have been probably our most popular diesel for the year so far. We have had a lot of success with those orders, and we have actually just started planning our second production run of those coming in the future too. So a lot of great stuff coming for the N-scalers in diesel and in steam. So stay tuned, N-scalers, because we got a lot to cover.
Yeah, and Tony, I think you actually did a HO shark review for Broadway. If I'm sure. Not,
yeah.
So now you're gonna have to scale it down.
I think, yeah.
Make things easier on a model railroad news article.
The sharks are so cool. They're so awesome. I think I bought the Air Force one or whatever from you, and then we had samples on some of those too. But it's a beautiful model. So that's a fun.
I remember that cover. It was very nice getting that edition with the Broadway Shark 8 show. So you're going to have to scale it down into N scale now.
Absolutely. Well, there's a lot. And you mentioned the Shark, but you've also got what, ST40-2s? Is that right? In N scale rolling into?
Yeah. Yep. The N scale ST40-2 should arrive to Ken's store in the next week or so, I would assume, because we're getting ours in the next week. So they should be arriving to Ken soon. And yeah, we've had a lot of really popular road names on that. We had the Norfolk Southern High Hoods. We had patched BNSF versions. So if you're working modern day BNSF, and some of those are still around working in yards, so you'll have those. Wheeling in Lake Erie, ST40-2s and N scale. Canadian Pacific, the red with the golden beaver logo on the back. And of course, talking about the America's birthday, we're doing the American Freedom Train stuff in HO. We did the 156 for Milwaukee Road in N scale 2 in this production run. We did the UP 3593, the Desert Victory scheme, the camo ST40-2 with the panels on the side, Rock Island in there too. And then we did 2 fantasy schemes for that as well, a U.S. Navy fantasy scheme and then a U.S. Marine Corps fantasy scheme. Both are really, really sharp. Yeah, you can see them there on the screen with some of those. We got, just a lot of really nice looking paint schemes. And even though the fantasy schemes, some people like them, some people hate them. But when it comes to the military schemes, I say this time and time again, a lot of people like to get those schemes because it honors either their service in the military or somebody they know, a family member or friend, what have you. Or maybe they just are interested in military history. Those are always very, very popular. And so we're always excited to bring different schemes. And our artist, Stephen Wilder, does a great job of kind of concepting different aircraft or what have you, and incorporating that onto a model. In HO scale, for example, the ES44s, we have a Navy scheme, and then we did a big boy Navy scheme on the last run, which was really, really popular too. And those were also really, really sharp looking, kind of unique, but really, really cool. So yeah, a lot of different stuff coming in N scale. If you're looking to get your hands on some of these, we're even looking at the Santa Fe Northerns there too on the screen. A lot of really cool scheme. I like the Meteor scheme, the Frisco Meteor scheme that you have with an exclusive with us. Yeah, we're really, really excited for those too. Actually, the cool thing about the Santa Fe Northerns is we went out to California. Our sound engineer, Aiden, actually recorded the sounds off of Santa Fe 3751 that's restored and operates out of the old Santa Fe Roundhouse at Redondo Junction. And he was able to get onto Amtrak property with the permission of Amtrak and the SBRHS. And we've got the bell recorded. We got the air pumps recording. We got everything. The only thing we weren't able to get to, at least up close and personal, were the chuffs. And that's just because we're on Amtrak property. We have to abide by Amtrak's, rules, and they're allowing us to be on there. So, but either way, those models are going to be fantastic. And just like some of the other steamers we've got coming out, road specific details on those. So yeah, a lot of fun stuff coming in N scale for sure.
That Santa Fe steam locomotive surprises me because, it seems like you start talking steam, and again, it's big boys, Challengers, UP. But the Santa Fe, that you got coming out, this 484, I've had more people saying, I'm really looking forward to that. I think that's a really awesome model. And I had missed this, that Ken has got this Frisco Meteor. Wow.
Yeah.
Gotta make a note of this. I don't have my notepad out here to write this down. Wow, that's very awesome. And you can find all this stuff. In fact, I was just on the Train World website in the last day or so checking on this stuff. You can go in, hit exclusives, hit manufacturer, hit scale, and see all of those things that might sometimes get past you. And Ken even sends me this information, Curtis. I don't know how that wasn't on my radar, but yeah, very cool.
Tony knows everything before I do.
I didn't realize the E units are new tooling for N scale. You said the E7s are new. Are all the
E7s and E8s? Yeah, we've got different versions designed. We've got what are obviously our first announcement, but we've got different versions of like Union Pacific. They had an early version with different details and a later version with different details. Southern Pacific's E7s and their progression, over to daylight for the E8s and stuff. So we've got a lot of really cool paint schemes, and again, all road specific details on them. And there's going to be more new roads coming in the second production run too. So if you're a Union Pacific unit and fan and you want one, I'd say again, make sure you get your order in for those. There aren't very many left, but there are going to be some really, really cool looking passenger trains with these locomotives leading them on people's N scale layouts or club layouts, what have you. So we got a lot of stuff. And I even forgot about the M1A as we're looking right at there too. Yeah. And those will be arriving later on this year. So a lot of really good stuff coming for UP and for other roads on diesel, steam, etc.
I tell you, there was a time where N scalers would get upset because it's like, nobody ever makes anything for N scale, or HO always gets the good stuff. But now it's like everything in HO is available in N scale. Like these sharks, nobody's really ever made N scale sharks before, and M1A. I mean, really cool stuff and high end detailed Northerns. It's great stuff. Great stuff.
Yeah, we really appreciate like the help of a lot of like the historical societies that we work with, especially when it comes to steam projects where there's very limited resources. There's tons of pictures of E units and F units all across the railroad systems, but when it comes to steam, there's not a lot of really good high resolution photos. So when the historical societies help us out on some of these projects, it really goes a long way, and we give them options to give feedback on a lot of our stuff. And a lot of times they're like, oh, can you tweak this? This is actually for this era versus that era, and that sort of stuff. So they really do help us out. So again, a shout out to the historical societies from all the different railroads that we work with, because they're fantastic and they're a great resource. Whenever we have a question about something, they're great at getting back to us and making sure that we've got all the details down especially for some of the bigger steam locomotives, like a Hudson or a Consolidation or that's not really, I guess, steam, but I guess, or bigger steam, but the big boys and the Challengers and stuff, making sure we've got all those different details accurate and, you know, scaled to the right size and everything. It really goes a long way, and we see the results of that.
What about HO, Ken? Is there going to be any HO? The N-scale guys get everything.
That's it. How do you top that? All those N-scale announcements.
That's a lot of cool N-scale.
I would assume it's with even more HO announcements, which I wouldn't even know where to start with HO. I mean, you are making so much amazing stuff in HO, whether it's rolling stock or steam engines, diesel engines. So we'll let Curtis, I guess, contemplate what he wants to start with HO.
Well, just arrived are the 280 consolidations, the generic consolidations that a lot of people are really popular and excited about. We've got HOF units coming in October. That includes the newly tooled and designed Norfolk Southern Executive F units, which were really popular, and a lot of guys were really excited for that. And then we've got more stuff too. The Shay, I know a lot of customers have been asking about the Shay. Those are just starting production, and they should be here around November. So the Class D Shay with many different paint schemes, really popular model. That's actually our most popular project of the year is the Shays. So the Shays have been really, really popular for us. And like I said, those are going to be coming in November. And it seems like the latest couple of steam announcements we've had, like the Hudson in my background here, the Santa Fe Hudsons and the de-skirted GS4s are getting a lot of really good attention because those are all new tooling with, you know, road specific details. I've seen a lot of people really excited about the de-skirted GS4s. And actually when we released the first run last year or earlier this year, we had a lot of customers that were asking for de-skirted versions. And so we went back and changed the tooling so it can accurately portray that. So if you're a Southern Pacific fan and you want to model the transition between steam to diesel, this is the perfect locomotive type for you, is those de-skirted GS4s. And of course, we have to bring back some popular items such as the American Freedom Train for 4449. I mean, we're heading into the nation's 250th birthday, so have to kind of bring those into back into the production line. And of course, we've got many other versions of 4449 too. So you can find them all on Train World's website, or you can go on our website, broadway-limited.com, and you can find all the information there. And those will be coming in next year of 2026. The GS4s will be in around May, and the Santa Fe Hudsons that you see behind me will be in next spring. But for stuff that's coming up, that's also new, we've got die-cast ST70s, and then we were talking before we came on about how popular our Union Pacific business and excursion heritage fleet cars are, and we are 100% sold out before they've even gone into production. Wow. And we are expecting those to come in around November or December. So again, really popular models that are coming very, very soon. So I know it's just in time for the holidays, or if you're trying to save up for parts for next year, you're going to have a lot of great options coming. And actually, I just heard the sounds for the UP Power Car today that Aiden has been putting together, our sound engineer. It sounds fantastic. I'm really excited to get my own model of that and add it to my UP excursion train. So a lot of customers are, I think, going to be really, really thrilled with some of these cars that are coming out in the future. And the heavyweights, too, that we announced in July.
Oh, yeah.
With the 1947 Freedom Train. And the chassis system special cars and several other passenger cars that are unique into that production run. There's a lot of really good stuff coming in HO scale. I don't know where you guys want to start, but that's just a list of some of the stuff that we've got coming.
The de-skirted GS4s you're talking about, I think, Ken, you got a couple exclusives in that bunch, I think, on paint schemes, don't you?
Yeah. And
we see those?
Yeah, sure. I'll bring up some pictures. And while we're scrolling down to the GS4s, Tony actually did a great article in Model Railroad News on the first run of the GS4s, and they sold out so quickly. once it hit Model Railroad News, everybody wanted it.
It's a beautiful steam locomotive is why everybody wants it. Yeah, that you can't make enough of those. And the D-skirted, though, is very neat because it is something that's not been offered before, as Curtis was saying, and it is a neat looking. I think that like the Golden State painted SP maybe, and that Western Pacific in the you've got some really awesome ones, Ken.
Ken, we have two fantasy schemes that are available generically. That's the Lark and the Golden State. But I'll tell you what, Ken, your Western Pacific, the silver and orange, that would look great on a California Zephyr car or consist. I'm glad you're bringing those back because I got asked about those a lot, about how cool those were. And then the other one that's more of the feather on the side, and it's got the green, gray, and orange paint on it. That one right there, that looks really sharp as well. And I know there's a lot of really cool people who are wanting those models in their hands, and I know they're really excited about those coming in.
Yeah, a lot. It's funny with these exclusives. Sometimes, it's not for everyone, but I don't know. I enjoy something different, exciting, and Broadway just makes great trains. And I think the paint schemes, it's just something different and unique. We kind of see all these paint schemes in every single scale, so it's a lot of repetition after a while.
Right.
And I think it's really unique and different. But I mean, this Golden State is gorgeous as well. You guys really did a dynamite paint scheme on this, and the two-tone gray as well.
Oh, that's pretty. Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
No,
we're really excited about those for sure. And the Lark, I like the Lark one too, with the two-tone gray.
Yeah.
Even though they weren't prototypically painted like this, I kind of wish they were because they look really, really sharp. And of course, you got the logo on the front there, and the big bold Southern Pacific lettering on the back. I think we need to make some Lark cars or something to go with that at some point because those are really sharp.
Yeah. And on top of it, just the regular de-skirted versions. The GS4 is probably, big boy number one. GS4 is right up there with the top most collected steam engines. So really just beautiful. And the first run that they did, Tony did a beautiful spread, and he really puts great pictures, and it's just it did so well. Everybody was loving it, and everybody had no issues with it. It was just a smooth running locomotive.
And a lot of that is the sounds too. A lot of people loved the Paragon 4 sound set with those because again, we've gone out and recorded the sounds off of the real 4449. And when you add that extra element of realism into your models, it really just brings it to life. And then, you got the smoke and everything else added onto it. It's really, really a sharp model. And like I said earlier, these are really, really going to be popular. So if you're on the fence about ordering some of these, whether you want one of the exclusive fantasy schemes or a prototypical scheme, I mean, you're going to want to get your hands on these because I really think that this is going to be another conversation where it's going to be so close to being sold out by the time it goes into production. So go ahead, get your orders in. And I see some of the comments saying that they like the Lark and the de-skirted version. So if you haven't gotten your hands on one of these or placed your pre-order with Train World, I highly encourage you to do so because they're selling quick.
Yep, very good. And just scrolling down here, also you got a new run of ES44s, which I believe a lot of them are already selling out or sold out already. And just really cool paint schemes. A lot of these are the newer paint schemes that you see on the rails and the Florida East Coast. Really cool paint scheme. I almost said Ferromex, but it's the Florida East Coast.
I was just going to say one of those held me up. I was late to work this morning because one of those Florida East Coast engines this morning. So those are really popular, and those schemes that are new that are coming out, like the CSX ones and the Florida East Coast ones, are just really sharp looking schemes. And I know a lot of guys that have been asking for those, and that's another actually candidate for N scale that we had two coming out, the same schemes. So we're really excited for those, and just adding so many different unique schemes. Like the Rock Island one last year was really, really popular for us, and this one seems to be another candidate for Rock Island that's going to be really popular. So if you're on the fence about any of these, and a lot of these have really good sounds, they have smoke in these ES44s and everything, so you're going to want to get your hands on these as soon as you can, because like we've been stressing, they're going to be gone before you know it.
And that's the big difference between Broadway and a lot of the competition out there for their ES44s and SD70s. I mean, there's actually smoke. A lot of the competition out there, they don't smoke on the deals. So most of our customers prefer to have smoke, and it really does add a different, unique element. And just another feature on your layout. Really cool. And they do a great job with it.
And if there's a customer who likes to, model it with smoke and they're looking for an excuse to have it, just tell the guys at your club, it blew a turbocharger or something. Got an accurate smoking ES44 or something.
That's right.
They look really good. It's got a really authentic, the smoke output is very nice on those. And it's a fun thing. Steam, I think you kind of are anticipating that when you're running, but diesels, that's always kind of surprised people, like, the diesel's got smoke. So that is a cool feature.
Yep.
And there's the Navy scheme I was talking about earlier.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice. HO early challengers as well.
Yep. HO earlier challengers. We just announced those last week or two ago. Oh my God, I'm losing track of time. But so we announced those two, and we also announced a few other fantasy Blue Goose locomotives. I know, Ken, you've got a few exclusive Blue Goose paint schemes, but a lot of these locomotives are going to be really popular. The early challenger.
This paint scheme was really cool.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I thought that was really unique.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That's based off of the UP119. That's the 440 American type. That's at Utah, Promontory Point in Utah, where the Golden Spike was laid. So getting some inspiration for that. We got a lot of really good reception from the 1870s ornate Santa Fe Hudson scheme. That was a fantasy scheme that we're doing, and just because of the demand for that, we're like, maybe we should try looking at these at a few others. And that 119 scheme there, and that's an Overland as delivered scheme. So we saw a photo of a 9000 class with that Overland Route Herald and the number on the tender. And that'd be cool, fantasy scheme to add. So some of these are prototypical; they're just not on the right locomotive. But it's still a really, really cool addition to our offerings of these early challengers.
And now these instruction cars, the railroad instruction cars, are also a new announcement as well. Probably last week you just announced these.
Yes, correct. So the instruction cars and exhibit cars. This uses our P70 tooling that we've modified for the American Freedom Train, but we've gone ahead and added some additional paint schemes that represent some of these one-off cars. The paint schemes are 100% accurate. It's the actual car type itself. It's so difficult to kind of make all of these cars as different, because like the Santa Fe one was a baggage car, and some of these have different roof details and stuff, but these are really, really solid stand-in cars. So if you're looking to add some of these cars, like that Southern exhibit car, or if you're a Norfolk Southern guy and you want to add the Norfolk Southern exhibit car, there's a lot of different options here for you to pick and choose. And a lot of these cars, heavyweight cars, were used as they were, labeled instruction cars, or that Great Northern Fire Prevention car with the flames on the side. They were used to train employees on how to battle fires, how to handle these situations, chemical spills, what have you. These were classrooms essentially for a lot of railroad workers back in the day. So these will fit into a transition era layout, or up until really the 80s or late 70s. So you're going to have a really unique piece of rolling stock on your railroad that I think a lot of people are going to be really interested in seeing. And that chassis system car, I think, is really cool. I think that one's very underrated of a paint scheme, with the green striping and the tracks on the side, and then the big bold safety right in the middle. I think that's really sharp looking.
I mean, they're awesome cars that you've seen, like say that Great Northern Fire one. I've seen pictures of that over the years. So yeah, it's wild to get to see these done as models. My HO reviewers, when this hit, we have like a message board that we kind of do updates on all day on the magazine stuff. And they said, boy, Tony, these are going to cost you a fortune. I'm like, yeah, I know. I have to have most all of those. Yeah. It is a cool group.
Yeah, but those cars are going to be really popular. And like I said, they utilize our P70 tooling that we've modified for the American Freedom train. So even though they're not 100% accurate in terms of what car type they are, they're a perfect stand-in for what a lot of guys have been looking for these sort of cars. So I will, again, highly encourage you to get orders in for those, because I think reception for those has been pretty positive so far. And, we haven't gotten the final orders yet, because we won't get those until, probably around December-ish or so. But those we anticipate to be really, really popular as well. And the order deadline for those cars is going to be on December 4th. So early December is when you're going to have to get your order in. But those will be in next summer. So it's about this time next year, they'll be in and ready to go on your railroad.
Wow.
You also have some SD45s as well that you announced maybe a few months back, but a lot of different paint schemes here.
Yeah, so a lot of different paint schemes. The Southern Pacific one, I'm personally really excited about. That locomotive was painted off, and we actually modified our tooling to match the light package on the rear.
Nice.
Because when it was rebuilt as, I think it was technically SD44R or something like that, but we modified our tooling to get the light package accurate, and it's in a daylight scheme. And if you've got, we were talking about the GS4s earlier, if you got one of our GS4s on the first run, there's photos of this SD45 helping the 4449 on excursions before. So you can have a prototypically accurate consist, on your railroad if you want to add one of these into your roster. And actually there was a second one, I believe it was an SD40, a straight SD40 that was painted in this daylight scheme. So it's another perfect addition onto your railroad of a cool paint scheme that is accurate. And we're going to expect those in soon. We've got other road names represented as well, like Wisconsin Central. We've got Montana Rail Link, and we've got a couple of really cool leasing paint schemes too that are going to be really excited for a lot of people who like to add leasing units into their mix.
Yeah, that group are the MPIs with the gold band.
Yeah,
those I've had several emails because wow, I can't believe those are made. I remember seeing those back in the 90s or whatever.
Yeah,
because they ran all over the place for a while. Yeah.
So
there's all the Shays.
Scroll back down. Hold on. Don't look. Hold on. Trying to go in order. All right. So some more paint schemes here.
Yep. Erie Lackawanna Bicentennial. Yeah. I like the Great Northern Blue Sky too. That's really, really sharp.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
And then also, I guess I think it was maybe a month or two ago, you announced another run of the SD70s.
Yeah,
but a lot of different paint schemes we got here. And a lot of them are already sold out. We've had to deactivate some already.
Oh, wow.
So definitely get your orders in. Ferromex. This is just an awesome paint scheme. This and just really cool. Love the striping. And then UPNS. And then we're also doing a bunch of customs with Broadway. So we're doing a bit of a fantasy of a 5-stripe Pennsylvania for SD 70, which is something different. It's unique. You really haven't seen like a Pennsylvania 5-stripe on as a SD 70, and SD 70 is probably the best-selling diesel engine. So really cool over there. We did it in O scale, so now we're doing an HO. It sold well in both, so doing well. And then this is unique. We've been tossing this around. A customer kind of recommended this just because this lieutenant is based out of Long Island. He was actually the president of the Long Island Railroad at one time. So it's a little history with New York, Long Island here, and Gabreski, Lieutenant Gabreski, if I'm saying it right. The customer who came in and was telling me, oh, you got to do this paint scheme and his artwork. It was really cool, and he was really excited for this. And this is kind of what his plane looked like. back in the day. So we kind of put it together, and the team at Broadway was very helpful as well. But really cool incorporating the plane, and now this lieutenant who flew the plane was actually the president of the Long Island Railroad.
Wow, how cool!
Little kind of history on that.
Absolutely, that's awesome.
And we're also doing the new paint scheme for the D&H Heritage, so that's going to be pretty cool.
That's very cool. That's been really popular. Yeah. It's incredible, all of the heritage schemes, just the colorful modern schemes like the Bell Heritage, the Ferromex. You know, when anybody says, "Oh, new modern stuff," I don't think it's as exciting. It's like, okay, you're not looking. Look again, because look at all this stuff. Yeah.
Yep. And maintenance cars. You also maintenance and baggage cars.
Yeah. So that's our new run of heavyweights, the combines, the individual coaches. So if you purchased a 5-car set, or maybe you're only looking for 1 or 2 cars, those coaches will be painted but unnumbered. So if you wanted to add your own decals for whatever road number you want to add, you can do that. Or if you want to add more to your 5-car set, but make sure that you're not getting 2 cars of the same road number, you can do that and make sure that you get multiple cars of the same type. And then the observation cars too, a part of that, using our PRR tooling.
Oh, that's nice, Tony.
Isn't that cool? And you may not have seen this yet. I saw Curtis in St. Louis at the RPM recently. I think it was the second day of the RPM. I'm walking down the aisle. He had the box. I think it was the mock-up box for these 5-car sets.
Yep.
I about tripped and fell over. I'm like, whoa, what is that? Because it's like the size of like a movie poster. And who did the art for that, Curtis?
That's again Stephen Wilder.
Yeah.
The front, if you look at the box itself, the front of it is a watercolor painting that he made of 2 Pennsy passenger trains passing each other on a curve. And he hand painted that, and it looks phenomenal. And then on the back end, you've got like these 1-view drawings of the cars, like in a blueprint design, if you will, on the back. And the box for the 5-car set is absolutely awesome, stunning. Yeah, it's really, really cool. It's almost worth getting it just for the box because there's so cool artwork on it. But it's really, really nice.
Why does he laugh when he says that, Ken? Because you know I buy stuff for the box. You know,
it's a collector's item. HO collector.
It's like, well, of course. I mean, when I saw that box, it was like, whoa, I gotta have 2 of them now. Yeah.
That's it. Quite this and a GS4 pulling it would be
beautiful.
Chef's kiss. Wow.
Yeah. Well, we are making a steam locomotive with those cars. The Blue Goose tooling that we're using is going to be painted in AFT. So if you want a matching steam locomotive for it, maybe you don't want to have a diesel on the front, maybe you want a steam locomotive, you can do that. So we're going to be having those coming out soon. And
we didn't get up to those yet, Curtis. So
I know. We're still scrolling.
We're maybe another hour into the show for
I was
all
to say
the
we're on page
announcements.
6 of 12. We still have more to go.
But here's the 5-car set, I guess, for the matching.
Mm-hmm.
Really
and want to give a shout out to the guys at Rapido. They were really kind enough to give us the paint codes that they used for their diesel, the Alco PA. So our passenger cars will match the paint of the Rapido locomotive.
Oh, that's nice.
So thanks to the folks there. We did make one change. The trucks on the cars will match closer to what the prototype was, because we got a lot of comments asking about that. They wanted customers that wanted it more accurate to the prototype versus the Rapido model. So all the other colors, the white and the red striping and everything, will match the Rapido model. The trucks will be more prototypically accurate to the cars itself when they were in service and when they were running.
And Curtis, kudos to you guys for that, because I know you did that on this one and on your UP, the business cars you did. I remember you telling me, you worked to match with Walthers, and that's always one of the first nitpicks or first questions I get. Oh, I really want that, but I have this whole set of whatever. Will they match color-wise? And the fact that you all have stopped and done that to make models like this, so it matches up. That's fantastic. It's really appreciated.
Yeah, and it's encouraging when companies can come together and put that effort together, because it helps everybody around in the long run. And I'm partially saying that as a customer myself and a modeler myself, but it also really does add to a big boost in sales. And that was a big feature for us with those Kennefic cars about matching the paint on the Walthers cars. And I know, Ken, you guys have talked about before about how popular those were for you guys. And like I was saying earlier, we're already sold out of the Lone Star Lincoln cars and the Power car and the Fox River car before we even put them into production yet, because customers already know that the paint's going to match, and now they're really excited about these. So it's great when we can work together on these sort of things. Even though we're competitors, it's still cool to come together and make a matching set for something like that. So,
as you said, it helps the whole hobby. You as you say, like as a buyer, that really is cool. These F units, Ken, did you get? Let's look at the NS, the one there at the top left, because this is, and the same with Chicago Northwestern, not stand-ins. You guys have retooled your F unit, so it's going to have. I mean, look at all the stuff on the roof. It's got ditch lights in the face of the F unit. I mean,
and
wow,
it's got the receptacle recessed in there too. We'll hopefully get a tooling sample of those soon, so we can take a look at it and hopefully post it online, because like I said, those are going to be coming in November, so just a few months away from those. But the reception on the Norfolk Southern units has been really, really well received. So we're really excited about the future of other locomotives for Norfolk Southern and other passenger cars to maybe go with the F units for Norfolk Southern too. So there's a lot of possibilities for us on these, and the A units look really, really sharp with the winterization hatches and stuff, the horn placement, all of that. And people have really responded. And the other schemes too that go with it, the Reading and Northern, where those units ended up afterwards, and the Aberdeen and Carolina and Western, those are also been really popular. There's the Chicago Northwestern.
Those are so sharp. Wow.
I grew up. So those are also really, really popular as well. And there's the Aberdeen and Carolina ones too.
Yeah, this paint scheme is very unique, but in O scale, Lion Alcando was the first to do this paint scheme for O scale, and it did very well. So in HO, Broadway is kind of the first to do this paint scheme, it's really cool. It's unique, but it's an actual railroad.
Yeah, and that tourist line, like them and the Reading and Blue Mountain, and they still run those units too. So it's not just a slot throwing a paint scheme on it for the sake of throwing a paint scheme on it. They still run and they look like that. So it's really, really cool to kind of get those into the mix as well.
And you say those will be end of the year, like November. How about the five car heavyweights? Did you mention when you think, is that next year sometime?
Yes.
Maybe?
So the F units, we're anticipating them for November of, or actually late October, early November of this year. And then the heavyweight cars that we've been just going over, those will be in next March. So March of 2026 for those.
Cool.
Yeah. And the Lone Star and Lincoln business car, we've been talking about that too. That'll be in February. And then the Fox River will be in right around Christmas time in December. And the Power car will also be coming in December as well, the 2066.
We'll be doing a Christmas edition as well. And then you have Denver Rio Grande has done very well.
Rio Grande's just got a sharp paint.
Yeah.
I like the variety that we've got on some of those paint schemes, just because of it's just the colors themselves are really, really cool. ACL, you got the C&O and Boston and Maine. Yeah, they've got a lot of great options for sure. And the Lima Berkshires, those we announced at Amherst earlier this year. Those have also been very, very popular. I love the Seaside Green on the top right there. I love that color. It's not the actual green that would be on the model prototypically. The render software that we use, we can't get the colors quite right for what the railroads have, but it gives you at least a good visual as to what they are. And I think that looks so cool, that green scheme on there.
That is such a beautiful steam locomotive. If you haven't run one of those yet, Ken, or seen one, I'm sure you probably had them out of the box from the earlier runs. We just ran reviews on, was it SP and Santa Fe of Berkshires?
The
and I don't
know the main ones. Yeah.
And I don't know what it is about those, but boy, they it really blew me away. I was really impressed by him, and my reviewer did the Santa Fe SP and said the same thing. It's like, yeah, they're really awesome locomotives.
Wow, nice stuff. And these are the you got Lincoln, Lone Star, Building America. Well, different Lone Stars. Lincoln.
The car is the same, just the drum heads are different. So if you want to model a particular train, you're all set to do that with some of these different shields and different drum heads on them. I believe I've got the blue 150 years on order with you guys, Ken. So I'm excited for those to come in. So then there's the yellow jackets up above that, another brass hybrid model.
See, I thought this one was really cool. When you guys first announced it, I was like, oh, this should be done, because there's an actual sketch of this, of something that they wanted to do, and it's a really cool paint scheme.
Yeah, so it's the Chicago Northwestern body, but Seaboard had one streamlined locomotive, but it doesn't look really anything close to this in terms of like the front and everything. But it's one of those things where it's a good stand-in model for that specific type of locomotive. I've heard a lot of customers who live down here in Florida that have said, I know it's not accurate, but it's the closest thing I'm going to get to one. So I'm going to get it. And same thing with the CNEI, that I like that one personally, I think the most. Even though I grew up right by the Northwestern, I like that CNEI scheme the most. I think that looks so sharp on that model.
The streamlined steam locomotives are so cool, and that one's neat because it's a smaller, it's not big like a Northern, it's a smaller locomotive. And you have the Northwestern, when you announced it, I remember digging up the information on it, what there was just a handful of those that they set up and put the streamlining on. But boy, that's beautiful. And Northwestern's always a popular Midwestern road. So and this is a brass hybrid, right?
Right. Yes. Yeah. And so the die cast chassis, but handcrafted boiler and tender shells. Our factory, the reason why a lot of our hybrids take so long is because of that. Is that our factory workers literally handcraft the boilers and tender shells, and then obviously assemble the model. But the models themselves just turn out so well. Yeah. Our Blue Gooses have been so popular in years past, and that's another hybrid example. But you were looking at the Bull Moose right next to it up there too. That's another hybrid model that we've got a lot of orders for that are really, really popular. The Penzi S1 also up there too. I mean, a lot of just the craftsmanship that goes into these, brass models that we make. It's really something, and we're so excited that customers are so excited to get these because they're just so good looking models, and at a reasonable price. You wouldn't find a fully brass, PRRS1 for street price of $640 through train.
No,
if you were going to go on the aftermarket, you'd be paying nearly double that, or more.
Exactly.
So you get a really great model with a lot of pulling power, great sounds, smoke, etc., and at a really, really good price point. And the S1s we should have a sample. I'm hoping we have one in time for Train Fest in Milwaukee. I'm hoping that our factory can deliver on getting one of those to us, because
isn't that a wild looking steam locomotive?
It's so cool.
Yeah,
it is so cool. But yeah, we have the steam locomotives. The hybrids are really, really popular, and we're really excited about those. And they're also kind of cool looking, like we're looking at the S1 here. Just the design of back in the 1940s, when these were built, is remarkable. And that's going to be bigger than the big boy. The S1s are slightly longer than the big boy, not by much, but they are. So to give you an idea of the size of that, think about maybe another half inch or so longer than the big boy, and that's the size of these things. So and they're going to still navigate 18-inch curves. How, I don't know. I haven't gotten a sample yet, but they're going to do it. So again, really, really cool stuff coming.
And you're going to need a bigger store, I think.
Yeah, the amount of stuff, and it's all stuff. It's all amazing stuff That's selling out very quickly.
Open up a second warehouse instead. You're in Manhattan. You're going to Brooklyn, or instead of Brooklyn, you're going to Manhattan or something.
Yeah. And you got more of the power cars. And
the power cars, I think I said this earlier, but Aiden, our sound engineer, actually, Union Pacific wouldn't allow us to record the car, but we were actually able to find out what generators that the railroad uses. And so we've got accurate sounds for those cars as well. And Aiden did a sound demonstration at the office earlier today, and I was blown away. He did a fantastic job. And the really cool thing is that even though there's going to be an interior and just really one light function, the interior, it'll still have the touch on the top. And the sound functions, you'll be able to turn on and off. We're actually going to use our wand, and you'll be able to swipe on the side of the car, and you'll get the sound functions to play there. But it sounds really, really great, and I'm really excited for that to come out. And we'll have a video demonstrating all of the functions of those cars and the power car for the sounds, because I've got a lot of questions about customers wanting to know what it sounds like. So when we have the sample finally done of the software and everything, we'll demonstrate. We'll make a video, and people will be able to see it. So we got a lot of stuff coming for that.
On the sound car, will it work in both standard DC as well as DCC? I mean, obviously, if you don't have the power turned up on DC, it wouldn't be able to do anything, because I assume it collects power from the track. But it will work for both.
Correct. Yep.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the Fox River and the other inspection cars we got there. Ken or Tony, we were talking earlier about the paint stuff. Again, Rapido gave us paint codes for what they had, their Illinois Central E-units that they made in HO scale.
Oh, those, we had those on the cover about a year ago.
Our car will be close to matching the paint on that as well. So if you happen to get one of those E-units with HEP, that'll come close to that. And then the other theater cars that we've got, the C&W Fox River was really popular. And the 2 UP versions were also really, really popular. So those cars are going to be really, really exciting to come in. And we've had, I mean, you were there at the RPM, Tony. We had a lot of people come up to the booth just to look at that theater car and asking for more of those.
Exactly. Yeah. They're so cool. It is so awesome. I think just last couple of months at Model Railroad News Cover, I think I had like 3 of the UPs, and I said, "Is this the neatest model of the year?" Is the headline. And it is. It's so cool.
Yeah.
I've had more response on, wow, this is so awesome, all the stuff it does, the price point it's at, that it's just a winner. It's like, absolutely.
Yeah. And Ken, I love the CSX Santa train that you guys are doing with us for that second Kenefic run. I love that. I love the little lights painted on it. I think it turned out fantastic. I'm really excited to see those two when they come in.
Yeah, I thought it was something different. It's not 100% like the actual train, but we thought it'd be close enough and kind of unique when people see it going around the actual trains. But between the Fox River inspection cars and also the power cars, I mean, Tony, these are some of the most highly ordered trains. I mean, Broadway just hit an absolute home run out of the park on these. Everybody is going after them, and I think they're already sold out, Curtis, if I'm not mistaken. So if you haven't gotten your order in, they will sell out. So make sure you get your pre-order in. Very important, and it's just unbelievable the amount of interest on these, for sure.
I can't tell you, stress it enough that, when we go to shows and stuff, the Kenefics, for example, I had guys coming up and say, do you know if there's a dealer here that's got any? Because I didn't place a pre-order, and I should have placed a pre-order. And if there was one there, I'm like, go over here. They've got them, or I would say, check Train World. They maybe have 5 or 6 left, but not very many. So please make sure you get your pre-orders in, and especially for something as highly anticipated as some of these passenger cars or locomotives are, you really don't want to miss out, because you don't want to be scrambling online to find something. I know for me personally, I've been burned more than once, and thankfully Ken had a few extras left that I was able to get an order in. So, but don't be that guy. Don't be that guy that misses out. So
I try not
again,
to
get
be.
this
I try
trailer
not to
ready.
be. Every once in a while, I'm like,
I
oh my
know.
gosh, Ken, I don't know how I forgot this. Is there any way you can find one? But I don't think I've bugged you with that. I've been pretty good lately about getting this stuff reserved. So yeah, you got to
That's
do it.
correct. Tony's been traveling in the summer, so once he gets back in his in the groove of things, he'll definitely start getting massive shipments at his house.
I get
But-
stuff everywhere. I get stuff down here. I'm in Texas this week, stuff in Missouri. I have it shipped like both places to where I think I'm going to be, or where it's like, I'm going to work on that in Missouri. So ship those box cars there. So yeah, literally my Train World packages are going all over the place. Yeah.
There's that link on the website where you could track Santa and the president. You could also track Tony Cook for all his
Right,
shipments
there you go.
going in. He's up with Santa right
I would
there.
say Tony's been added as a songwriter credit for "I've Been Everywhere Man." Tony's gonna start getting those royalty checks. That'd be.
Now we mentioned the American Freedom Train 1947 that
Yep.
you're doing the Blue Goose. What's the one next to it? The other fantasy?
That's the Valley
Santa Fe?
Flyer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's the
There you go.
AFT Blue Goose.
Wow.
Really
Which
cool.
some people were saying that looks better than the actual Blue Goose because of the paint job on it. But yeah, that's the Valley Flyer. So the Valley Flyer, Tony, I don't know if you know much about that train, but
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, it went in the Central Valley from Bakersfield up to Richmond, and it basically was hauling passengers to an exposition fair that lasted up there for a couple of years. And it was I believe, not a Hudson, maybe a Pacific, that they had semi-streamlined, and it had this paint scheme on it, and the cars also had the matching gray and silver striping on it. And so the train was going back and forth between Bakersfield and everything. So this is kind of a what if scenario, but I gotta tell you what, Santa Fe is my favorite railroad, and I think I like this almost as much as I like the normal Blue Goose scheme.
It is very sharp, yeah.
I just love the color of the trucks on this, and the wheels and drivers just really neat.
I don't know
that's going to be sharp with the cars.
Yeah, they pop on the passenger cars, that light blue, and yeah, the drivers and it really is, and wow,
that's awesome.
And you got the eagle on the back and on the tender and on the front there too. A lot of really, really neat schemes on some of those for sure.
The eagle is pretty cool.
Yeah,
wild stuff. And
we got other exclusives. We're bringing back the B&O, and we got the Southern one and the Lehigh Valley one.
So we did these the first run, and we changed it up a little. This one's a different road number, and then we also have the Black Diamond version. So a lot of interest on these. We sold out both on the first run, so we're reoffering it a little bit differently. But for the fans that bought it the first time around or missed out the first time around as well. And this time we're also doing the Tennessean. I don't think anyone's really done, well, HO Collector, I think I've seen the Tennessean. But that was like a 4-4-2 or something. So I thought that would be something different. And again, listen, a lot of these are not on the exact model, but these are really awesome paint schemes, and Broadway does such an amazing job with their engines. So it's really a awesome, cool looking piece, and just something different.
All right, and I was saying, it's a good stand-in for some of those really high brass brass prices that you would normally find. They're a more affordable stand-in for some of that. And then we're looking at the Santa Fe, the regular Santa Fe Hudsons. I was mentioning earlier the 1870 scheme on the Challenger.
This is cool.
Yeah, I really, really like this one. I might get one for myself because I got the Christmas 5-car set heavyweights for myself, and I think that would look really cool leading that 5-car set Merry Christmas cars.
Wow.
That's gorgeous. Very nice.
Gold striping along the top of the boiler, and then the classic, not spelled out Santa Fe AT and SF, RR. I just looks really, really cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
And that's a fun, both the Union Pacific and the Santa Fe you've done now. that's a neat rabbit hole you went down there of let's take that, what's 1870s look of those really overpainted, of those little steam locomotives, but put it on a late steam era.
Right.
And that's wild.
Exactly.
And this was also a unique paint scheme. I actually, we were thinking about doing this paint scheme as well, so I was happy that Broadway did it. I think this is really cool. I saw it done in brass once before, and everybody went crazy for it.
Right.
But this is really cool paint scheme. Something different. You're not going to see these, and the blackout wheels. Just
right,
really neat.
And that one is accurate. That one is how it appeared in the early 1940s.
Oh wow!
And I believe it was just for showing, like, just advertising the railroad.
Wow.
I never really got a straight answer on that when I asked about it, but some people thought that it was to kind of recognize the locomotive because that road number also had a cross-country journey where it was some historical thing where it went across the country and it only stopped for water like 5 times, and it was just like super efficient. It was like a record-breaking run for it at something like that. It was like the late 1937 is what it was. But I don't know if that was just a way for them to recognize the locomotive, that this was the one that did it, or if it was a way to advertise the railroad. But either way, it's really cool. That one I know for sure I have on order, so I'm really excited for those as well.
Beautiful. Let's see. And then we're also doing another exclusive with Broadway. This is kind of like a two-tone aluminum and red, like a kind of a war bonnet paint scheme, but something unique, different.
Right.
Usually you see the black Santa Fe, but this got a little different twist on it.
Right. And it's, again, something really, really out there. But a lot of times these collectors, they go crazy for some of that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's a really nice either shelf piece, or you put it in the roundhouse on your layout, or you bring it to the club and guys are like, what's that? And, they're always just kind of curious as to what those are. So, yeah, it's a really sharp scheme. And the silver will make it well if you have a passenger train, because Santa Fe had silver stainless steel coaches. So, yeah, it'll fit right in on that for sure.
Yeah, I haven't seen many HO engines like this for sure.
No, that's really going to pop with all the details and then being that aluminum finish. Yeah,
right. Yeah.
Neat.
And then the Shays, quite honestly, we don't have many left. We've been deactivating a lot because they're already, a lot of them are sold out. Just everybody went crazy over the Shays. Lots of interest, Curtis.
And those will be in November, so a couple months away. So whichever ones are left, claim them while you can, because those we will not have extras of. We are building those exact to order. So get them while they're there, because if they're gone, they're gone. Those are a really, really popular project for us. I mentioned earlier, that's probably the biggest project for us this year in terms of just how popular they were. So we're really excited for those.
When do you think you'll have a sample to show off of those? Because boy, the operation on the Shay, seeing all the gear things going up and down. We
did have a video on our YouTube channel. So if you go to our Broadway Limited YouTube channel, we did have a video demonstrating that. Okay. We should hopefully get a new round of production samples. They're undergoing testing right now. I would have had one to show, but they're undergoing testing right now. So they're actually taken apart practically by our service guys and software guys at the office right now. But those are going to be really, really, really cool. And I know that a lot of guys, once they see them in person and they see all the gears and stuff, they're like, whoa, like that's really cool. Because the Class D Shay is one of the most uncommon ones. It's the largest Shay that was ever built. And there were several Class 1 railroads, C&O, Southern, Western Maryland, that had some of these Shays. There we go. There's the video of the Shay, and there's yours truly on the video. But we've got 2 samples of those, and you'll see one of them running here shortly once we there we go. Get to that. So there you can see the gears moving.
Isn't that cool? Wow.
and these are geared for slow because obviously Shay's ran at a very slower speed, and if you go really any faster, you're going to have some of those gears and stuff pop out. So we purposefully ran them slow, so that way they weren't going to get broken or anything like that, because we like to bring these to shows and everything. But yeah, just some of the fine work of our engineers and everybody who was involved on that project, putting those gears together and having it look as smooth as they do. It's really, really cool. So
Wow.
we're really excited about those. And like I said, built to order. There are no extras. So if you see one available here on the website that you like with Train World, get your order in, because those are going to probably be your last chance to get them before they come in. Oh, Ken, I think you're muted.
Oh, Ken, you're muted.
And this is first time.
Yes. First time, all new tooling. So we probably will have a second production run planned at some point. But for now, this is the first production run. We got a lot of really exciting stuff. And we're actually, because of how popular these were, we're looking into doing some other types of locomotives like Heislers and other Shay types. So yeah, we got a lot of other plans because of how popular these were. We're looking into other stuff. So yeah, a lot of stuff coming for HO scalers and who like logging railroads. And it took a while for these to be done because we had to modify the tooling to make sure they navigated 18-inch curves. When we announced the project, they were slated for 22-inch curves, but we got a lot of feedback from guys who have logging railroads that were like, please make it navigate 18-inch curves because I've got tight curves on my layout. I have the logging railroad, I have this, I have that. And so we went back and modified it, and they're all good for 18-inch curves. So yeah, cool. We're really excited for these Shays to come in. Like I said, I think people are going to be blown away by them when they come in.
Yeah, Tony, I guess anything logging in Curtis has been really hard to come by, but it's so popular, the logging scene. And like Mantua years ago had those two different variety logging engines, but they always sold very, very well. And
it's always been a popular, whether you mentioned the Sumter Valley or whatever the one was that Mantua did, and the Weyerhaeuser,
they had those unique ones, and but no one ever made logging for so many years. So
for so long,
this is quite honestly probably the most detailed logging HO engine that will ever be built so far, other than a full brass. I don't know if they've ever made it in brass, but it's going to be really amazing. A lot of people are excited about this.
And one other thing too is that our sound engineer Aiden and Joe, they went to Cass Scenic Railroad, and so the sounds on our Shay, since there's no Class D Shays that exist and are operable, the sounds of the Shays that we have recorded for this were recorded off of Cass Scenic, I believe number 3 or number 5, which is a Class C Shay, a smaller 3-truck Shay. And so our Shays will have the sounds of that. So again, because it's not like a typical steam engine where you hear a 4 chuff per revolution locomotive. So these are going to be really, really unique sounding locomotives. And I think a lot of guys are going to be really excited for these too, when we get these into stock and get these out there. Because they're, like I said, our biggest project of the year. We're really excited about these.
Wow. Very cool.
Last but not least, these World's Fair appearance and the 6446 S1s. Everybody's ordering this engine. It's just one of the most highly anticipated steam engines this year for sure. I don't recall if the window is closed, or I'm pretty sure if it's already closed, you're probably sold out already. But
yeah, the window has closed on those. Yeah, the window has closed on those, and the S1 is definitely going to be a hot item. But there's still some time before they come in. So if you see some here and want to reserve it before they come in, because these will be in hopefully around the spring of next year. Since we've got several other hybrids in the work right now, like I said, they're longer to take production time wise. So if you see an S1 that you like, get your order in. We're probably going to be sold out by the time they get here. So it's, again, no extra inventory on these. So make sure if you want one, make sure you get your order in. because this is the largest locomotive we've ever built. It's also probably one of the most highly requested ones we've had in recent years. So we're really excited to see how these turn out. And I think a lot of guys are going to be really excited when these finally do come in stores.
Wow. I'm going to start building a mantle for that, Ken. I think I need like a new fireplace.
There you go. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
That's too cool.
I think forget the mantle. You're going to need your own warehouse after tonight, Tony.
Yes, I'm afraid so. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Ken,
Wow.
just charge Tony rent. Have him store it in Brooklyn and just charge him rent.
That's what I need to do. I need to like just move to Lynbrook there or whatever. And yeah.
You know, it would be crazy if I sold out of Tony's inventory. He would know, and he'd find me. Even though I don't think anyone in the world would probably know what they would be missing, but Tony would know. He said, yeah, that was an article from 1945, and I had that train, it's missing.
Oh, yep. Very cool.
So, Tony, anything you could share in the upcoming episodes for Model Railroad News?
As I mentioned, we did this SP in Santa Fe Berkshire was reviewed just recently. I think we did the C&O brass hybrid Mikados that you did is reviewed. Those CSX Heritage units, we just reviewed a couple of those. That Union Pacific, if you somehow didn't get one because they did sell so well, those Kennefic cars, is a cover story from a month or two back in Model Railroad News, and you can get a look at it. And I've got early pictures of the power cars and the Fox River and all that, so you can get caught up on it. But so much stuff. I mean, so much, and just a lot of fun stuff. That's the thing. You know, I talked to Ken Silvestri this summer, I think right before he bought that old pickup truck. Have you got to ride in that pickup truck yet?
No, not yet. I saw it. He when we got back to Florida, he was going to get it repainted, and he was going to get like Apple CarPlay installed on the dash and everything like that. So he was getting it all upgraded and everything, but he did drive it back from Maryland to Florida.
From Maryland,
cool. I haven't seen it yet at the office. I take that back. I saw it before he sent it in to get painted. Yeah, it's a great truck. But no, cool. When you saw him at the N-Scale show is what I'm assuming at Spring Creek.
It was right around there. Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, something like that.
We ran into each other and he was getting that. Yeah, but he, as he says, it's supposed to be fun. That you're here to have fun with trains, and I totally agree. I mean, that's right. Absolutely. And that's what you guys do. I mean, both the stuff that's absolutely prototypically accurate and the things that just blow me away that I got to have. Cause like, wow, can you believe they made that? That's a great paint scheme on this locomotive. So unbelievable.
And I think Ken is still having fun, even if he's able to come back and, do some stuff at Broadway, because he's got to have some sort of extra little income to convince the wife to get Apple CarPlay installed in his truck and everything. So that's why he's probably doing the videos and going to shows and everything. And awesome. Yeah, it's a lot of fun stuff, and we're so appreciative of our customers for sticking to it with us, and especially through navigating through so many different things with the price increases for some trains from tariff stuff and everything else like that. It's been really heartwarming to see, and it's been really appreciative too. And I know it's great working with a partner like you guys here at Train World. And I was up there in February, and I want to come back. I've been itching to go back and go back again. So Ken, I'll probably have to talk to you at some point about visiting New York, which in April or February or something like that, so we can get that down in the books again, because that was so much fun. I really enjoyed going up there. And of course, we'll be at Amherst, we'll be at Train Fest, and we'll be at Timonium. So we'll be at several different spots. So just make sure you're keeping in tune with us and checking us online and on social media and on our website and everything. And if you got any questions, please feel free to reach out to us and let us know. If you've got any products that you want us to see us make, I've seen some comments while watching the stream here and everything like that. On our website, we do have a product suggestion portal. So if you go onto our website and you go to the club tab, you'll see the product suggestion portal, and you can tell us what model you'd like us to make. And if you're looking to have us make a certain model that you'd like to see, it's the best way to let us know, because we can collect data on how popular they can be and go from there. So overall, I'm so glad that we got to do this tonight, and I had a blast doing it with you guys. And that's all I've got. So hopefully my Bears can beat the Cowboys on Sunday. I guess that's the only thing I have to say.
It's, it's always so much fun doing these shows with Ken Jr. and Curtis. You're great. I mean, I think we've been on for almost 90 minutes, and literally I feel like I'm a kid in grade school talking about toys or, stuff that, isn't this cool? This is so neat.
Right.
And
right.
That's one of the great things about this hobby, is that you get to be a kid, and thank goodness that, Train World lets me be a kid all the time.
We certainly appreciate both of you, fine gentlemen, joining us tonight. And it does feel like kind of this is the kickoff, getting back into train season. Everybody's getting back from vacations and summertime, and what better way than a whole slew of HO and N scale new announcements, new products, and excitement, and so we're very happy about that, and we appreciate Curtis for joining us tonight, and Tony Cook for Model Railroad News. If you haven't subscribed, he runs a tremendous magazine. It's amazing, and he's got a whole slew of different magazines as well. It's not just Model Railroad News, so he does a great job with that, and I'm sure there will be some future Broadway items featured, like I mentioned in the past. So
absolutely.
We're looking forward to that. But if you're interested in any Broadway limited trains, make sure you head to trainworld.com. We also do a ton of custom work designs with them, and they're a great partner to work with together. So we have tons of Broadway limited trains. Head to trainworld.com. We do appreciate it. But Curtis, Tony, this has been tremendous. So much product and new announcements. We're looking forward to it.
Yeah. Thank you again for having me, Ken. And thanks for doing this with us, Tony. And hopefully I'll see you guys very, very soon. And if I don't talk to you until then, have a great holiday season. And I'll let you know what Ken Silvestri dresses up as for Halloween this year.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Curtis. Thanks a lot, Ken, for having me on tonight.
Sounds good. Thank you both. Do appreciate it. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Appreciate it, and have a great night.